Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to it. This is Power Connect. My name is EDNA. I am the People's Bank. In the words of Muzo, Ukulanda Posenchtai. Shout out to Malawi, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and Namibia for always choosing Power TV. I mean, you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to be here. Thank you so much. My name is EDNA, the People's Baker. Get up Power Zone. Now today, my guest is someone who, in my own books, will go down as one of the greatest live performers that we have in Zambia. He's a good songwriter. He hasn't mentioned this, but I think he's behind some hit songs in Zambia. I will be having a chat with him. I will force him to review some of the hit songs that he's written or he's about to make or create. I'm talking about the one and only James Sakala. Now, my beautiful people, this man, he will perform on my wedding. And this performer, we found the performer, Kwasalamanje husband. Catch me on the flip side. I'll be right back. Now, welcome to it, my beautiful people. Now, I am with the one and only James Sakala. You're lucky I can't sing, because if I could sing, I was going to greet you while I sing. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm great.
I'm happy to be here. You know?
For real?
Yeah.
After so many years?
After a long time.
Do you remember the first time we met?
No.
Okay, can I remind you?
Yes, please.
You were coming, I think, from... You were coming from Livingston.
Okay.
It should have been Livingston, and we're coming from Choma. So we found you guys on a bus, and you're seated like at the back seat, and you were really protected by some of your friends. And then they said, this is like one of the best performers or artists that's yet to be known. I'm like, what's his name? At James Sakala, you guys will know him. Then you played some guitars for us, you played some songs. You
on a bus.
On a bus. You remember that trip?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I was with the band, I think.
Yes, you're with the band.
Israel.
Yeah. They protected you so much, the point whereby you stop, you get your food, and they say, no, you're a superstar, just chill. We'll get everything for you.
Wow.
And
I wish people treated me like that even now.
No, they do. They do? Yeah.
I don't think so.
They do.
The way I walk around in my bar.
So for me, like from the time that we met, from the first time we met, and now seeing you now, and what your friends said is clearly coming to life.
Oh wow!
So what has it been like from that time? How did you push? How did you make sure that your name has an impact?
It's been a struggle. It's been everything.
Yeah.
I've gone through depression. I've seen it all.
Is it?
You know, yeah. I've experienced a lot of ups and downs. But all in all, I know that God has always been with me. Like, on my side, holding me by my hand and showing me the way. Yeah.
Now, someone talented.
It hasn't been easy though.
It hasn't been easy. What hasn't been easy? Like, because when I see you on the stand big stage, I'm like, oh, James.
And that's the funny thing. When people see you on some of the platforms, they think, guys are not from nowhere, at sticker. You know what I mean? All that stuff. But they don't know where you're coming from.
Right.
You know? If I tell people that I used to be Chameleon's backup singer, I'm coming from there. I used to be signed to a studio called Unique Records for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Then that deal didn't go as expected. Then I moved to So Good. I was just a songwriter and producer, just in the background for over 5 years.
5 years?
Yes. Then I went to Blazer Studios as a studio guy. So a studio guy is not a producer, is not an engineer. You are cleaning, like when after artists do the recording, you put cables properly, you rearrange everything, you prepare for the next session. I used to do that at Blazer Studios.
Now from being, did you start by that, then Chameleon's backup singer?
No. I started being Chameleon's backup singer.
How did you move from being a backup singer to being signed to being a studio guy? Yeah,
so So after working with Chameleon, at some point I decided to quit music and I went back to Mkushi. By the way, before Chameleon, I met George Wangu. He was the first guy to audition me. And he asked me, what else do you do in Mkushi? Then I was like, well, we do farming.
Yes,
you know,
yes,
because I grew up at a farm. Then it's like, if I were you, I would go back to Mkushi and continue with my family.
Wow.
After an audition.
Wow.
So, you know, it was one of those, you know, so, but then I didn't take it as negative, like a negative feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, before that, I know Sakalas are from Eastern Province.
Yeah.
What were you doing in Mkushi?
So basically, I grew up in Mkushi.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born in Zimbabwe.
Ah, okay.
And then we moved to Mkushi. We moved back to Zambia with my grandparents when I was 2 years old in '86. And we settled in Mkushi because that's where they bought a farm.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mkushi has been home for me.
Yeah?
I've actually never lived in Eastern Province.
Is it?
Never.
I love how you still embrace the culture, though.
I mean, because I grew up in that home.
In that
know?
home,
so
yeah.
wherever you are, my grandfather will speak to you in Chichewa, and he will expect you to do all the Chichewa cultural things, you know, customs, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Now, a fanboy, how did you then like grow interest in just learning music? Where did the interest come from?
Okay, so after I completed my grade 12 in 2002, I joined a theater group called Waziwe Arts Theater.
Okay.
So we were actually trained proper thespians, you know, and we did some, like a lot of community work, like water and sanitation, malaria sensitization, you know, HIV and AIDS, TB, whatever, a lot of these health matters. So after that, that's when I discovered I had a bit of singing in me.
Is it?
And I developed an interest of learning guitar. So I started learning guitar from a friend of mine. So he would, you know, get the guitar from church. He used to go to Bread of Life. And I grew up in a Jehovah's Witness house.
Okay.
So from there, you know, he would teach me 1 or 2 chords. Then, natwalisha kolelo. Papitana at 5 months, tawalisha hapo, you know, stuff like that. So I was a bit stagnant for a long time, you know, in my learning phase. And that's how that interest came. And then I remember Chameleon came to Mkushi and with Mampi, they had a show. I had a cousin who had a place called Directors Den. So I used to DJ sometimes there.
You're even a DJ?
Yeah, I'm a DJ. CDs, not a DJ, having a switcher, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, just changing CDs and, you know, you play a raga song and you play a Kalindula song and, you know. So I used to do that a bit sometimes. So then Chameleon came, was performing there with a live band, and at some point he was like, is there anyone who can sing any of my songs? I'll give you a CD. So my friends knew that I was a Chameleon fan, so they pushed me onto the stage.
Yeah.
I had never performed with a band. It was the first time. Surprisingly, I sang on key and on time.
Wow.
And I sang that, yeah, that song. So after that, Chameleon was like, you're a good singer, you should come to Lusaka. You're not doing, there's nothing that you do in Mkushi. So then when I came to Lusaka, first I went to George Bangu's studio and turned down. After like a year, I met Chameleon again in Mumbwa. In Nakonde.
Not even in Lusaka.
No, in Nakonde, because that cousin of mine was also doing music promotion. So that's how I met a lot of these artists. When Nasty D, JK, a lot of them. So we went to Nakonde to do a Chameleon show in Nakonde. And then he was like, Iwe, poa ba iwe. Tawai Sakulu Sakala no tawa serious. Then he gave me his line. He's like, okay, Sakulu Sakala ntumine phone.
Okay.
So when I came here now, and unfortunately the day that I came, he wasn't in Lusaka. He had gone, I think, to Mumbai or somewhere for a show. So he just gave me Charlie Bravo's number and said, go and see my producer.
Wow.
Introduce yourself, and I also call him. So I went to Charleston. And I remember that time, we used to get on a bus from Kanyama. You have to pay 2 kwacha into town, and then you pay over 5 kwacha. That time it was 5,000 kwacha
to get to
Charleston. Yeah. So I only had a 5,000 kwacha. So I got on a bus from town. From Kanyama, I walked to town. Then I got on a bus from town to Charleston.
Wow.
Then after that meeting with Charlie, which didn't really go so well, I walked from Charleston back to Kanyama.
Back to Kanyama?
Yeah.
Yo.
From 15, I think I got to Kanyama around 19 something.
Ish.
And I was tired. That day I couldn't eat. I just slept.
You just slept? After meeting Charlie Bravo. I'm sure by then Charlie Bravo was like legendary.
Hey, that time he was a superstar producer.
Yeah.
You know, like first of all, we had to wait for him for 2 hours because I found some other guys. So at David Sling, there was like a mango tree and you are not allowed to go in the studio. You sit outside. So we sat under that kamango tree. That's when I met Christo Sean.
Ish.
And later on, he became like a big brother. He's the one that introduced me to Lukundo Siwale. Super.
You've been around.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. So before we
So
get
an artist comes from
somewhere.
From somewhere. You know?
Not Ched Mauka
Hey,
Ched.
you know, I know.
What was life like for a backup singer back in the day?
So the backup singing that we used to do, first of all, we didn't even understand the technicalities like what I know now. When I'm auditioning backup singers, because for me, I audition backup singers. You know, you need to know your voices. You need to know the basics before we talk about, okay, now let's learn my music. You know what I mean? So then it was just, if you can sing that artist's songs, then you can be a backup singer. Now, because of that background, sometimes Bread of Life, I learned about harmony, like which voice, when someone is singing on this voice, you have to sing the second voice, you know, like stuff like that.
Okay, so which one?
It's either you do soprano or alto.
Oh.
So then you are not far.
Okay.
So if someone is doing tenor, then you sing bass, it will be too wide, you know what I mean? So you have to sing the next voice, either up or down.
You've understood music, eh?
I mean, that's what I do, you know. So yeah. So I've forgotten what I was trying to.
like life of a backup singer.
Yes. So now with Chameleon, I knew, because I was a big fan. I knew almost all his songs then, like from the first, second, and third album. So it was that thing where Chameleon is my big brother. So I usually tell this story. Chameleon used to forget his songs on stage.
That happens if you're not the writer.
No, but you know what? You're trying to be controversial. No, but you know, they wrote those songs together with Charlie.
Okay.
Yeah, like, no, Charlie wrote most of the songs, but I mean, he would have like an input, like with 2-3 words in there. Yeah. So he'll be asking you on stage that, Iwe, band na yamba kare, you know. So as a big fan, and now being his backup singer with Dreams, actually, we were backup singers with
Dreams.
Yeah. And later on, there's another guy called Kuzi came, and you know Mercy. Remember Mercy?
No.
Yeah, there was a guy called Mercy, very good singer. Later on, he started working with Uncle Rex, but he's around. Though I don't know if he's still doing music. Very good singer.
So when you meet with Dreams, do you have those moments?
Yes, we usually laugh about it. Even last week we were talking about it. There's a group called Tilimo Limo. I don't know why you're not on that group.
They don't like me with Tilimo Limo.
I'll add you.
You should.
Because I'm an admin. I'll add you just for a day. If you don't like it, you can leave. It's an interesting group.
I can't wait.
Yeah, so the other day we were talking about it with Dreams. Like, hey, remember those days we laughed about how sometimes we would, you know, do these tours and not get paid, you know, stuff happens. So
this has been there.
Yeah, it's been there.
It's been around.
But actually, it like in the previous years, it used to be worse.
But how did you manage to survive?
Yeah, so basically, I never really survived out of what I was doing with Chameleon and the music. It was, I was being kept by a friend of mine in Kanyama. And later on, I started staying with Drex. Not the DJ Drex. There was a producer called Drex. Okay. Yeah. So I started staying with him at Unique Records. Okay. So that's when I stopped doing backup for Chameleon. I started learning production now from Drex. Okay. So yeah.
Like from the stories that I've heard, and I can tell you have so much experience, not only with how to deal with personalities, but also the vocals. Yeah. So then I'm sitting wondering, I'm like, we've had a number of competitions in the country. Yeah. Like singing competitions. Yeah. We've seen you perform live. Why don't they approach you? If not being a judge, at least be a vocal trainer. Or maybe I'm just wrong, people have approached you.
Yeah, no, I've done a singing competition for Elation Entertainment. Yes. I was a trainer, like a mentor. Yeah. So from training vocals to, though that competition wasn't really for like startup singers, you know, it was for like professional singers.
It makes sense. Now
some of them who actually have albums and whatnot.
Because I was surprised when I saw Roy. I'm like, hey, Roy.
Yeah. So Roy is a professional singer. You know what I mean? Like he's trained at church from an SDA background. So yeah, so we had people from Malawi, Zimbabwe, you know. So the next season that we are going to do, we'll also have people from Congo, you know, Namibia, Botswana. We want to spread it wider. I say we because my contract still hasn't expired with them. Yeah. So on that show, I was a mentor. So mentoring them on live performance and all those things, and how to prepare yourself for a show, and how to arrange your songs, how to write your songs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What role did you play in Sheffy's 360?
So me and Sheffy have an interesting work relationship. Yeah. So mostly when he's about to drop a project, he calls me to the studio to maybe sit and listen to some of the songs and maybe give ideas, you know. So on that song, he told me, you know what, there's a song I've done with Immortal Caesar that I'm trying to drop, but I don't want to drop just a single. Like I want to drop an EP of 2 songs. Okay. So there's another song that I've recorded. It's done, but I'm not feeling it yet. So I think you should listen to it and see what else we can do to it. So when I listened to the song, there was on a song there's a loop, a Kangoma loop. Yes. The one that opens.
That was you.
No, that's not me. It's a loop. So the producer used that loop to create the beat. So when I listened to that, then I was like, you know what? On this song, we just need to add a master drum. We call it a master drum, like a ting, 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 ting. Yeah. So that master drum, and maybe we sample my voice chanting something. Okay. Yeah, so we did that. So towards the end, there's, oh my God, yeah. That's my voice. But we made it in such a way that it sounds like a sample. So when they were dropping the song, then he sends me the song. I told, this is the done version. Listen to it and tell me what you think. I realized he's put featuring James Sakala. I'm like, dude. Oh, there's actually featuring James Sakala? Yes. Oh. I said, this wasn't the agreement. He's like, no, it's a feature now, you know. So we kept it like that. Yeah. Okay. So now I get a lot of people tell me when I perform, like last weekend I was performing at a Barefoot festival and the kids started chanting, with 360. I'm like, that's not my song. I can't sing it. Where am I going to sing? I hear you. It makes sense that you mentioned Sheffy's, like the relationship you have with 187. Yeah. Because I kept on wondering, I'm like, every time, what's that song he did with Mumbayachi? Yeah, and it's always James Sakala performing. Yes. So now it makes sense. But you know, for that song, it's not really that he doesn't want to get Mumba. Mostly when he has a show, for some reason, Mumba is not in the country. So because it's one of people's favorite songs, so he has to sing it. So he has to get someone who's closer, who can manage to sing the voice. But it's different because I interviewed Mumba and he said something else. Like, he just doesn't reach out. So it's yeah, I don't know. But you know, I'll tell you, like the Day of Thunder, Mumba wasn't around. Yeah. His launch, Mumba was in Congo. You know, he was doing some work in Congo. Yeah. No, actually, he was in somewhere in the Middle East with a group from Congo. Okay. So mostly when he's doing like a big show, Mumba is not around. Okay. Yeah. I was going to your page and I saw some of your performances. Is it Afro Jazz, Afro Shani? You're going to be performing this side. You're going to be with Roy. How do you describe your music now? Are you a jazz artist? What are you? Are you a traditional artist? What are you? I think my music is just Afro pop, like Afro pop, maybe like Afrofusion or something, because in my music there's jazz, there's Kalindula, there's now I'm even doing hip hop. Like I'm recording a hip hop album. Nice. Though I'm not rapping, so don't expect. So what's going to be happening? Buzz. You listen to it, you hear it. Yeah. You know, because like I'll give you an example. Some of Chris Brown's music is hip hop, and he's not rapping. So it's the musical genre, and then what you add to it vocally doesn't really matter. Okay. Yeah. How did you like brand yourself or position yourself in a way that corporate brands just believe in you? I don't see you at every turn-up event, but I know I'll see you at almost every corporate event. Almost every. Yes, almost every. Yeah. Okay, I get it. So basically, my team has been working very hard to make sure that we... Yes. We keep a certain... So for us, it's not really Kubloa. Like Kubloa is not really important. For us is, for whatever we do, is it translating to a pay? You know what I mean? So we scanned the market and we realized that corporates pay. They don't make noise, but they pay. So yeah. Okay. That's the basic answer I can give you. Okay. But the other answer I can give you is because of the music that I do. Okay, yes, that's the answer. So the attraction is more on the corporate, because most people that head the corporate these companies are big people who grew up in the Kalindula eras, you know, the jazz eras, you know. So I'm the closest artist, you know.
Without taking away the fact that you are good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because we can't ignore that as well.
Yes, no, we can't. Earlier on, when he came in, the first thing I complimented was the shoe. Swag, manero. Swag.
Zikomo.
I hope Zimbabwe, that's how you're going to represent us.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. In Zimbabwe, I'll represent you.
Yeah?
I'll make sure that I carry this flag with
so much pride, yeah.
With the
I've got a flag, so if you want a flag, worry not. Zambia kucharo kutamuleta na super. Zambia kucharo. Do you have a song with Super?
No, I don't.
You need to.
First of all, I need to have a relationship with Super.
Okay, so that's how you work with artists. You need to have a relationship.
Yes. So for me, it's not really like we have to make a hit song.
Okay.
So which artist is popping out there? I write music because I'm a songwriter. You know, I've written for almost everyone.
I'm getting to that. Thank God you brought it up.
Anyway, so for me, when I write my music, I listen to the song, and the song will beg for an artist. Yeah. So I've been recording an album. It's actually done. We are doing final studio engineering work, and on this album, there's certain artists that I approached to be on the album, and unfortunately, they are superstars, so they didn't turn up. So, yeah.
Wow, they didn't turn up.
Yeah. So those songs, I didn't move them to another artist. So if for example a song wants now if I mention a name you will think they are one of the people that didn't turn up. For example, okay. For example, if a song wants Chef 187 and he doesn't show up, then that song is just going to be finished without any artist. So that's how I work. I don't go around calling everyone. The
fact that you work based on relationship you have with artists, don't you recycle the same people now in your songs?
No, I don't have many features. That's the thing.
Oh,
I don't.
Okay.
On my first album, I only had 2 features.
Nice.
Oliver Mtukudzi and Sir Jones.
The great Oliver Mtukudzi.
Yes.
Are you going to perform the song in Zimbabwe when you go?
Yes, I definitely am going to perform. There's something that we've come up with my team. You only see it after the performance.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the number of artists you're going to be sharing the stage with.
Yes.
Casper is my favorite artist.
Casper, yeah.
Lala Tukzin.
Yeah.
Then I saw James Sakala. I'm like, come on now.
Yeah.
You're the only Zambian there, yeah?
Yes, only Zambian.
If you had the opportunity to pick one artist as a +1, who would you get?
To go with?
Yes.
Or to send there or to go with?
To go with. It's you, and then they say, James, since it's you, we want another person.
Passport. Oh, so you. Yes.
Okay, I'll pick for you, Wezi.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Wezi works. You know, I thought because Wezi is almost in my. Maybe we should have picked from the other side.
Okay, so you pick. Okay, me, that was my choice. Pick your choice.
So the artist that I'm going to pick, I know that he's right now he's everywhere performing all over the world, and I'm not picking him based on that.
Okay.
I just think he has music that is very interesting, and maybe that explains why his music is playing a lot.
Who's that?
Your Maps.
Oh, you know, I didn't even think of Maps.
Yeah. By the way, we are not even friends. We greet. We meet. We
yeah.
Greet. Hi. Yeah, we are not really close, but I respect that young man.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's doing great for himself.
Okay. I love the fact that you also bring young people close. You're bringing the young ones close.
The young ones. Yeah. I love that. I mean, about me kula empanga. Yeah, I don't know if you understand what that means.
I just know the saying, eh?
Yeah, so I mean, it simply means they are the future.
Yeah. They are the future. Okay.
Young people are our future. So we are going to move from here one day. All of us are going to grow old.
True.
The young ones will take over.
I know of Roy. Which other young artists would you like us to look out for?
There's another one called Evans.
Okay.
He's a gospel artist.
Okay.
But he plays guitar and sings. Very good artist.
Nice.
And there's another female singer called Ziase. She's she's one of my backup singers.
Okay.
But you should look out for her. So
now I want to ask a question, right? Yeah. How does one qualify from being a backup singer to being a lead or the own artist? Yeah.
You need to have that drive yourself before anyone believes in you, before anyone tells you, no, take you to the studio. That's what you need to have, that drive. Like, I'll give you an example. I'll give you a short story about Fally Ipupa and Koffi Olomide. Fally Ipupa was Koffi Olomide's backup singer for the longest time. And he left the band before his contract expired to go and pursue his own career. You know, that landed him in a few problems here and there, but everything got sorted out. And Koffi is proud of Fally. You know, everywhere he goes, he says my son, and everywhere Fally goes, says Koffi is my father. Yeah, so that drive has to be seen, because there's no one who's going to come to you and say, iwe ni mkaliwe leko kumbakinga kabiyoko. That's why you find there's a lot of good singers who've been backing certain artists for over 20 years. They are just in the background. It's because they don't have that self-drive. You need, and then the funny part about having that self-drive is it will land you into problems. You have to go 10 steps backwards. Remember, I told you I was Chameleon's backup singer, meaning I was almost becoming a superstar. And then I had to leave that to go and work in a studio as a cable guy, you know, arranging cables, shani, you know. So.
Okay. Your story is interesting, James. I'm not going to lie.
Pompi has been telling me I should write a book.
No, you should. It's quite interesting. It's the same thing when Moses Sakala came and he was telling me about some of the songs that she wrote.
Yes.
I'm like, wait, you wrote that song? You did that? You did that? So for me, it's also like, it's also high time that maybe some songwriters just want to be in the background, or they just want to be, you know, on the down low. Yeah. So for you, when you're writing some of these hits, or when you write certain songs for people, do you always want to be in the background, or you say, you can credit me?
Yeah, well, first of all, there's two sides to this story.
Okay.
The first side that I'll address is that most artists in Zambia don't have that culture of crediting, you know. Like, I'll give you an example. Not that I want to to create any controversy, because your platform is known for controversy.
This is Power TV. Hey!
Oh yeah, Power TV doesn't have any controversy. Okay, at least that is out of the way.
Yeah.
So, like, I've done a lot of work for Mampi, and I don't think she's credited me anywhere. You know, I mean, she's my sister. Mampi is my sister. You know. Anytime. No bad blood. I mean, so even me giving this example doesn't mean it's coming from a bad place. No. Trust me, no. So I'm just mentioning, that's just one of the examples I can give. And because we are close, that's why I mentioned her. Yeah. So for me, it's not a big deal.
Like, what song? What song by Mampi?
You know, I don't know these titles, eh? So if not really writing, but you know, you find that I'll go to the studio, I'll play a guitar, or I'll direct this, or I'll be in the finishing when the producer is doing mixing and mastering. I'll be like, no, change this, change that, you know, stuff like that. So most of these projects that she has dropped over the years, I've been involved somewhere here and there.
It makes sense, makes a lot of sense.
Then secondly, I've done some writing for Esther Chungu, Chileshe Bwalia.
Oh, nice.
I do a lot of worship music songwriting, actually. Yeah. I
want to hear you worship, Kanshna.
One day.
One day.
Hallelujah.
So
no, I do worship.
The fact that you only, when working with an artist, is based on relationship. What about songwriting? What does it take for you to write a song?
So sometimes they call me and they tell me, no, I would like you to write us a song and blah, 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 and I'll charge.
Okay.
And write.
Okay.
Yeah, but for features, it's based on the relationship we have there with the artist. Even production, like I always want to know your person, like your personality.
Okay.
Before, because I believe that music is very powerful. I'll give you a brief story about music. Music was created by God for himself, right? And then the first one that was given that mandate to worship and sing and do what was Lucifer. So now, fast forward, Lucifer won't be happy to see that there's another talent who's trying to take his place. You see, this is where people confuse a gift and kubloa. People focus more on kubloa than nurturing and protecting the gift. So you find that in the process of pursuing kubloa, you know, you end up kubloerela. They blow you off the earth.
So, like, in this generation, right? And I'm sure if you don't pay attention to live performances, you need to start paying attention now, because this probably, I'll ask you guys in future, even you that's at home, you're an artist, you come and sit down, you know. So in my generation, right, I would say the greatest performance that I've seen, and this is based on you guys have made me realize that being a stage performer or commanding stage presence is not always about jumping. You know what I mean?
I call it making noise.
Yeah. So there's you.
Yeah.
There's Danikaya.
Yeah.
Mumbayachi.
Yeah.
And maybe when I'm gonna, but I'll just mention these, you know.
Yeah.
You people have made me realize like live music is not all about just pangache chongo, what, your breathing technique, everything is just on point. Yeah. So first question I'm gonna ask is, according to you, who do you think is the greatest performer that Zambia has ever produced? Then secondly, what is the greatest technique that one has to learn when doing live performances?
Okay, so to answer your first question, no doubt Moses Sakala. Moses Sakala, like each time that man is on stage, ish, nwafuna kulila. Ish, that man.
Hey. His voice is still
calm.
Yeah.
But his performances always have that energy. You know? Like
yes.
I don't know how he manages to be calm and energetic at the same time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and then the second question is, second question you asked is how the greatest technique. I think mastering your nerves, like knowing how to control your nerves, because mostly what causes people to fail to give a proper performance, even after a good preparation, is because they fail to control their nerves. Because when you get nervous, you start forgetting your music, you forget the key where you're supposed to start from, you know, like you start jumbling things. Okay. You forget the sequence of your music, you know, if you agreed that you are starting with Kasongo, then you move to Namfumu, you jumble things up, you know what I mean? You go and start with Chimbaya for Picket Sharp, you know what I mean? And the band knows another program.
Do you still get nervous?
Yes. That's very important. It's important to be nervous.
But you just need to.
But it's important
to learn how to
control your nerves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the moment you start thinking, I don't get nervous anymore, just know you're losing it now, because you're growing big-headed. You know that the nerves keep you in check. They will still remind you that you have to give your all. You know, because every time you are performing, even if you are performing at a birthday party or at a Stanbic Music Festival or at a corporate event for a phone launch, there's someone in the audience who's your potential client. So that's what I work with all the time.
That's why you're always getting back to back corporate gigs. There's always your client in the case.
You know, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. And obviously wrapping up, I want to wrap up with your song. So which song should we close this show with?
Wow. You know, music is tricky, eh? It's like every song is like your child. You know, like when you have 9 children. You don't have
give us your firstborn or your lastborn.
Ish. There's a song that doesn't really have airplay out there, and it doesn't have a video. Eh?
But
so even if it doesn't have a video,
it needs to have a video.
Oh yeah.
Because we're wrapping up with a video. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you. There's a song called You. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything that you love your fans to know? Zimbabwe, he's coming, please. In October, eh?
Yeah, October. I'll be on stage on the 6th of October. But I'll be in the country in Zimbabwe from the 2nd of October because we are doing some workshops. So I'll be on the panel.
Nice.
Yeah. So that thing you asked about, another country is seeing that in me.
True.
Yeah, so I'll be sharing that panel with Casper Nyoves and some of the artists.
Tell Casper I like him, okay?
I will. Yeah, just I will.
All the best.
Yeah,
all the best.
Thank you so much. So Zimbabwe, we are bringing that Zambian fire. Look out.
Just don't forget to own the Victoria Falls.
No, definitely.
On it.
If we can't carry, because we can't carry it, we'll make sure that on the screens
it's
Victoria Falls. And we'll put James Sakala
from Zambia.
A country that owns
the Victoria Falls. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
And I can't wait to actually have you on another controversial platform. Because I see there's a lot that you don't hold back. You don't hold back. And I love my guests when they don't hold back.
Zaka nimenyesa it. Anyway, it's okay because I just recently got married. So I'll stop moving around after that show.
I love how you kept it down low. No one knew that you were married. We just saw pictures. Hey, how?
Marriage is a personal thing. It's not a public thing. So it's not like a public toilet where anyone should walk in. You know what I mean? I would like my wife to be in a space where she's free to go to the mall.
No, because
she's not a public person. She's not a musician. She's not a model. Why should I start publicizing her? No. I want her to be happy.
That was smart though.
Thank you.
Because if you told us we're going to come, this is Power TV, we're here to cover James Sakala's wedding.
Oh my goodness.
So thank God. Thank God.
Power TV were buena, patient. I even had bouncers.
You even had bouncers?
Yeah. I had bouncers at my wedding, just to make sure.
But you're performing at my wedding regardless.
Yeah, I performed at my own wedding, so I can't fail to perform at your wedding. I got you.